Hello and welcome. My name is Londa Carter and I am the Recovering Huntbot. I create anti-MLM videos, so if you enjoy that type of content, you might want to consider subscribing. Today I'm going to share with you how there is symbolic stratification within multi-level marketing. If you would like to support me as a content creator, someone who creates anti-MLM videos, the very best way you can do so is through my Patreon. There'll be a link to that in the description. I've made it really simple. I've created 3 tiers. They're all very reasonable, ranging from $1 to $10 per month, and literally any amount helps. To illustrate what I mean by symbolic stratification, I'm going to use as my backdrop multi-level marketing because that's what we're here to talk about, right? And I am going to use the post of a quote leader in a particular MLM. In this instance, it is a Beachbody, since that is what I'm familiar with, since I'm a former Beachbody Hun. And then I'm going to share with you my thoughts in terms of how stratification and this social stratification thing that I'm mentioning and putting out there works within the realm of MLM, and specifically I am using Beachbody, but if you are a member of a different MLM or we're a member of another MLM, think about how I'm using Beachbody and just kind of overlay what you went through and what your ranks are and everything with that, because there's no way I can possibly do that for every single MLM. This is just a model. What I'm sharing with you is basically how we categorize people in terms of socioeconomic ranks, tiers, whatever you want to say. The upper class is roughly about 25% of the U.S. population. The upper class is divided into upper upper and to lower upper. Upper upper is the aristocratic type of, people, the high society, old money. Lower upper is new money. Below that, we have middle class, which is made up of white collar workers, and we have the upper middle and the lower middle. Upper middle is highly educated and professional, whereas lower middle is less educated with lower incomes. Below that is the working class. The working class is often referred to as the working poor, possibly like skilled laborers. Oftentimes their jobs are more physically taxing. And then underneath that is a lower class. And you can think of this as the homeless, the unemployed, and many of these people did not finish high school. Now, to just make this really simple, I want to put it out there that we as human beings, this is what we do. We put things in little boxes. We categorize things, because imagine if we were wandering around all day long and we weren't, coming up with these ways to categorize things. It would be very difficult for us to, interact daily. For instance, if I see someone drive in a Mercedes, I'm going to probably instantly think of like, oh, they've got some money, they have a good job. If the stuff is going to come to mind because I'm a human and you're human, and things like that come to your mind as well. We do that as shortcuts, because if we don't have these like mental shortcuts, we would be hard pressed to get through the day, just trying to describe everything, in vivid detail. We've got to have these little shortcuts just to function in the world. And so thinking about that, that's what we also do in the world of MLM. How we apply shortcuts when it comes to our perceptions of people in terms of how we stratify them, a lot of that is based on us having mental models about that. And so let's go ahead and check out some of what I mean. Okay, the way I view just general Hun stratification is in this way. Now, I did put at the very tippy top the owner / CEO / CFO / CEO, COO, / CIO, basically anyone at the C level within the organization, okay? Below that are the upper Huns. The upper Huns, as we know, if you've looked at any income disclosure statement, there is very few. This is about 1% or less of people who sign up in an MLM. And these people are perceived to have a secret to information. These are the MLM celebrities, if you will, and they're highly regarded. They speak at events, that sort of thing. Below that, we have the middle Huns. These Huns have advanced past the first rank, and they continue to believe the overall MLM narrative. The upper Huns believe the narrative too. These middle Huns are struggling to maintain their rank. Not saying that the upper Huns don't come into that, struggle bus situation, but the middle Huns, they're still really working to get up into that tier of upper Hun. They look up to those above them. And that's the instance for all of this, the lower to middle, middle to upper. Everybody's looking up and thinking that someone else has the secret. These Huns do command some respect, and they may speak at some events. Now, the lower Huns, this is the majority of where Huns are. This is going to be your entry level rank and also your first rank advancement. These Huns have managed to reach the first rank, but of course, they still struggle because if you've been in MLM, you know sometimes you can't even maintain that first rank. They believe in the MLM narrative and they parrot much of what they hear back to others. They look up to those above them. They have some experience in MLM, especially like those that have gotten to that first rank, but they're still struggling. Everybody's struggling. And at that entry level, that very first thing that whatever you're called, like in Beachbody, you're called a coach, that entry level, that's where the indoctrination just starts. But that indoctrination continues through every single level. And as you go up in levels, you become more further entrenched within the narrative, and you act in ways to make that narrative true because you're experiencing some success, so you have to believe what you're told. You have to, really kind of do some mental gymnastics just to hold on to what you believe is a quote good thing. And at the lower level, in terms of the entry level that I spoke of, there's basically no MLM experience within the particular MLM. Maybe you were in a different MLM, but I'm trying to generalize. So in general, there's no experience. Okay, next what I did is I broke out the Beachbody ranking just so that you could see how it's applied and think how it could be applied to whatever MLM that you happen to have joined or somebody in. So let me just go over that with you. Like I said, when you start with Beachbody, the very first rank, your entry level, is called coach. And I know people get so bent out of shape of coach because they get all upset that people, are personal trainers and they know more. It's just a word. So just get over it. It's just a word like anything else, like presenter. It doesn't mean anything else other than you're a distributor. So a coach is the starting point. And over 74% of the coach network is at the coach level, meaning they have not made it to that first rank. And within this, the earnings, according to the income disclosure statement, and I will argue against this, they earn between $402 to $33K a year, which if you put in all the amount of time that you are, working towards that's not a lot of money, plus the amount of money that you're spending. When you weigh all of those things out, it ends up being a lot less. Now, one of the things that they did not put down is like at the lower end, they just kind of gave like an average. But I'll tell you, when I was a Beachbody Hun, I did not make, that much money. So they have some wiggle room there, and they just try to make it look a little bit better than what it is. But think about making $402 for the entire year. That's not much, right? Okay, so the very first rank that you go to as a Beachbody coach, meaning that you signed up 2 people underneath you, and since Beachbody is binary, there's one on your left, one on your right. That comprises 20.6% of the coach network. And they earn anywhere from $2,864 to a little bit over $80,000. Now, myself, as a Beachbody Hun at Emerald, I didn't make anywhere near that, nearly $3,000 for a year. These people have a limited access to information and limited access to wealth in the overall structure. Now we're going to get to the middle Huns, and this is going to start with diamonds. Now what they did was they just kind of lumped all of them together, and so I really can't break apart like the earnings or anything, because It's just really skewed on the income disclosure, okay? It just really is, since they did not specify really per rank. Now, diamond means that you were emerald, so you had 2 people underneath you, but now you've added 3 additional people on each side, so you have 8 people underneath you, but 2 of those people have gone emerald, so in total, you have 12 people underneath you. 4 of those people are underneath 2 other people. If that makes sense, let me know. Just trying to simplify this as much as I can. And then you're going to also have the 1-star diamond. The 1-star diamond means 1 person underneath you reached the diamond level, okay? A 2 to 4-star diamond coach, which is right above this, you're going to have 2 people, 2 4 people who reach the diamond level underneath you. It is perceived that they have more access to information, but they're also struggling to keep their rank. Everybody's always struggling. Then above them, there's going to be the upper tier hunts. And so it's going to be anywhere from 5-star to 15-star or above. And I kind of broke it out from 5 to 9-star, then 10 to 12, then 13 to 15 and above. The highest rank earns a bit over $3 million, which is not typical. But again, they did not specify, exactly which rank, because they just had diamond. So it really doesn't help us, get to more information other than how they lump it together. But it is perceived that they have access to information and to wealth. And that's where I go with this whole, this perceived stratification, because in reality, if you break it down, everyone, even if you've maintained a rank or reached a rank rather, you're still trying to keep it. Just because you reach it doesn't mean that you stay there. Symbolic stratification has to do with these various ranks. It's symbolic because it has some kind of, special little name, It has the diamond, the 15-star, or whatever. It could be a double backflip Pikachu, unicorn. It just doesn't matter. There's always these weird names. But these people symbolize in everyone's mind someone that has the secret sauce. They know the secret. They know the way. They have money. They have freedom, respect. They're getting rewards and accolades. Meanwhile, underneath all of that, they have gotten so involved with multi-level marketing, they are in a trap. And what they're doing is they're filling the holes, and they're also filling their mind. And they're filling their mind with more of the MLM narrative. And I'm going to show you how that interrelates, because it's all based on these groups that are forming. And it's going to make more sense when I share those posts with you. So what I'm going to do is read the post to you. And as I go through it, I'll break it down for you as well. Legendary Leadership Mastermind. It's 2020 and we are about to blow things up. Oh, hey, leaders. We know that you bust your booties serving others and wanted to create a space where you could grow and be served and surrounded by growth-minded cohorts to both learn from, collab with, and of course, crush 2020 alongside. So we are bringing you the most legendary group of leaders to host 2 year-long masterminds. Okay, let me just break down this first part. Number 1 is the use of the word mastermind. You may or may not be aware that Napoleon Hill, who is the author of Think and Grow Rich, is the person who came up with this concept of mastermind. And honestly, I don't know if anybody uses mastermind outside of MLM, but when I see that word mastermind, to me, it just brings MLM jargon, MLM jargon, MLM jargon. So if maybe people do use it outside of MLM, but I do know that MLM has, hijacked it. And I've heard this all over the place within the, MLM world, Beachbody specifically. And then this whole thing about serving others. I'm making content for you. I don't sit around talking about how I'm serving people by making this content. When I see serving others, that just makes me think, again, MLM, because you're taught that you are serving others, that you are providing something for others. It's part of that indoctrination, and to get you into that whole, like, keep you within the bubble, so to speak, because this is a culture. And that's something that I have been thinking about, that I really do believe that multi-level marketing is a subculture within the US, and probably, other cultures as well, because it has its own lingo, because it has its own just like little flavor of everything. I definitely see it as a subculture. And then the whole, like, the growth-minded cohort. So this makes me think of like-minded, and being around like-minded people. That is also something that is very MLM, because you want to keep you around people who are within your bubble, people who believe in the MLM narrative, people who are going to reinforce the MLM narrative. Because if you go outside of that, anywhere outside of that little bubble, you might have people that are going to give you, contradictory information, and we don't want that. We've got to keep you believing, holding on to the belief. Okay, that's about all that I have for that part. So let's go down to the next piece. Level 1 Mastermind is for 1-star to 4-star diamond coaches. Originally, this group was only going to be for lifetime 2-star to 4-star diamonds. However, here is how we are going to make an exception. Okay, right there, I've just got to stop and break this down. You are going to feel special because an exception is being made. There's a concession, and I've talked about that before. That's part of a persuasive technique, is when somebody makes a concession and you feel like, oh, I'm being given more. So because you're given more, you're going to do more, which goes back into something I've said before. I did a whole video on extended reciprocity. This gets you entrenched more. And so you feel like you have to keep giving back. But it's going to be this whole lifetime. A lifetime rank means that you reach 2-star, but you might have fallen off. You might have gone down back to Emerald. You might have gone back down to Coach, but you're not at that rank right now. But you're said to have a lifetime rank of 2-star. Same thing with, lifetime 4-star, whatever it is. If it has lifetime in front of it, that means that is the highest rank that you have ever reached. That doesn't mean that you are at that rank right now, this red hot minute. If you are a lifetime 2-star diamond, but don't currently hold the rank, minimum requirement to join us through June is to be diamond currently. After June, you will need to hold 1-star diamond minimum. So this means that they are pushing for people to become a diamond coach. And once someone is a diamond coach, they're going to be pushed to become a 1-star, because you are going to be given, this secret information. You're in this special little group. You are getting recognized because you get to be in the special little group. All the other people, all the other little underlings, they don't get to be in there and get the special information because they're not at a particular rank. So do you see how that stratifies you? And it's really more of a mental perception, this perceived stratification, because you don't have to keep the rank. But when you look at, stratification and how it works, socially, people don't tend to, go up and down, up and down, up and down. But with an MLM, they do. If you are paid 1-star diamond, meaning you are currently maintaining that rank, you will be able to join us. Hey, but if you're below that, you just got to sit on the sidelines. We're not doing anything more to help you. You don't get the secret because you haven't performed. That's really what they're saying. And if you are a diamond and hit 1-star qualification, a 6-week hold that you have to hold and maintain to become a 1-star official, you will be able to join us. So do you see how they are stratifying people based on their ability to recruit? So all of this is that people are going to feel special if they can be in this group, one of these groups. And then when they get in this group, the whole thing is going to be able to push them so that they can go into the other groups. All of this is intended to push people to keep recruiting. That's the bottom line. It's not about, oh, can you sell more products? It's not. Do you see that? It's all about getting people to recruit, because Beachbody is based on recruitment. It's not based on making sales. Level 2 Mastermind is for 5-star to 15-star diamond coaches. This is our highest level mastermind, and for those set on building as legends in this biz. We are wanting to up level the conversation and go deep and wide in ways we haven't been able to in the past because of it being over the majority's heads, situations, and experience. So that's really kind of putting down people, because, we couldn't do this before because no one could handle it. But hey, you can handle it now if you are 5-star to 15-star. And we're going to give you something more because we're going deep and wide. What does that really mean? It doesn't mean anything. Honestly, it doesn't. It is to push you to recruit. That's the bottom line of all of this. They're not saying that, but the only way that you rise in any of this is through recruiting. It's not through making sales, unless you're selling to your downline. If you are a lifetime 5-star but don't currently hold that rank minimum, requirement to join is to be a paid 2-star diamond. So you must be at that level of a 2-star diamond. Each of these groups will have one set call a month for the remainder of 2020, alongside other exciting opportunities to partner up and collab. And here's the kicker. Here is where there's really a push on those lower Huns, because those lower Huns see this and want to be in. They want to be part of the show. They want to be part of the program. They long to be part of it. You get what I'm saying? They want to be part of it. That's the whole thing. That's the big push, is to get people who have just entered, who are possibly Emerald, to get them to keep going. All of this is designed to get you out there and to get you recruiting. Don't qualify yet? Make this, add logs to your fire to get there and get on these calls ASAP. Okay, because these calls are going to suddenly give you some secret information you can't get anywhere. They're not. That's the bottom line. And here's something that I'm going to share with you, because I did some investigating. I just started looking, and it's the Beachbody world, looking at some different Huns that have a number of stars, number of star diamonds. And oftentimes you will see something like they were, like a pastor in their church or something. They did something or are doing something that they have influence in. And if you have influence in one thing, that can translate into this. And over the weekend, one of my patrons, Stephanie, told me this. And okay, confession time. You ready? I watched, Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. I loved watching that train wreck. Anyway, I now discovered through Stephanie that apparently Pumpkin and Alana's Honey Boo Boo, they are doing the Bantel pearls, like you shuck them and you get pearls. It's an MLM, because apparently Mama June, she needs some money because she's gone through some hard times. I mean, it is a total train wreck. I mean, it is a trashy train wreck. I will say that it's total trash wreck. Anyway, that is an instance of someone having influence. I mean, love them or hate them, they got some influence, all because Alana, got the show, Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. And so now people know them. And when you are known, it's so much easier to recruit than if you're just a regular gal like me, like you, and you don't have this extended network. People with an extended network are able to grow. The reason they have you is for you to feed the machine. You're there to keep pushing, to keep buying. Here are some of the things we will be discussing: planning your month, quarter, year, being efficient and effective with your time, running effective Emerald calls. Okay, I never had an Emerald call. What is even that? I'm presuming it's like, oh, you made Emerald, so now we're going to have a little chit chat on how you can become Diamond, or some crap like that. In other words, do you know enough people that you can get in? Can you recruit enough people to be a Diamond? You need to go and recruit people so you can be a Diamond. That's all that it's saying. Utilizing push groups. push groups, they're pushing you to recruit. They're pushing you to rank up. It's all about recruiting. And all of this is evidence that Beachbody is nothing other than just go out and get more people. That's really what they care about. Cultivating engaged chat pods. I guess this, I've been in chat pods, and these things go off all the live long day, and you're all trying to help each other out. And honestly, it's just designed to keep you doing those things, those 4 vital behaviors in Beachbody's case, to keep you part of the system. Keep you busy so that you don't have time to actually, deconstruct what you're in, which is, a product-based pyramid scheme, which is an endless chain recruitment scheme. That's what you're actually in. Utilizing incentives. Oh, we are going to reward people if they recruit others. That's what incentives in this instance is. For example, you see how there's an incentive for you to be a particular level? Because if you reach that level, you get to be in one of these special groups as an incentive. Leadership retreats. Oh, and a leadership retreat, you're not going to get a plane ticket bought for you. You got to pay for all of that, but you've earned a spot. That's all that is. And people who have large teams, they have these leadership retreats. There's also, you can be part of the leadership council if, I don't know, I think you have to be an elite coach or some crap. It doesn't matter. And those are the people who are so deep into the MLM that they do the dirty work for the MLM when people like myself come out and start, telling you guys the truth about it. Social media ads and investments. So, they don't tell anything to the lower Huns about, maybe you should advertise on social media. Because people like me, who was a lower tier Hun, we run around all over the place on our own and find those things thinking that is going to be how we can succeed. If we just start paying more money to something else, money that we don't really have to advertise, but then we are competing against other people who are above us, who do have a budget. Do you see how, you can't possibly win in any of this? You think you can, but the odds are stacked against you. Collaboration with success partners. Oh, always have to have that partner, because that success partner is going to be someone to make sure that you are drinking the Kool-Aid, that you're doing all the actions so that you are believing in the MLM narrative. That's all that does. It just further entrenches you and further indoctrinates you into the overall fairy tale that MLM provides. Communicating with your team and clients. Best places to invest in your business. Wow, how about drawing up a business plan or something like that? Maybe you need to do that before you even get involved. Maybe you need to do a projections. Maybe you need to see what do actually people make. But typically, people don't ask to see anything about the income because you just believe what you're told. I mean, that's what I did. And here I am, a highly educated person, and I just believed someone. I took them at their word. And I'm not alone. It's a common thing. Delegation, personal assistant tasks, second business center strategies, and maximizing the comp plan. Oh, how can you earn the most amount of money? Well, some of that might be to create people who are coaches that you control their accounts, because if you have a sister, you have an aunt, you have a cousin, you have a best friend, you have other people that you can sign up underneath you and then maximize everything through these basically fake accounts. Because yes, coaches and people in MLMs will fake it. They will buy products to maintain rank. And in this instance, coaches will basically buy other coaches to be on their team so they can maintain this entire facade of how successful they are. And the lower Huns are all looking up to them, thinking they all did this all on their own. And that just is not the case. There's a lot of shadiness and cheating going on behind the scenes, and tons of opportunities for Q&A, coach hot seats, and for you to help us mold into the most impactful collab we've ever created. You ready? Because this girl is. And then, what I've heard is that there's so many people that are just saying, I'm all in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. And do you see, just getting people to commit to that, they mentally know that they're just going to have to do more. I hope this has helped you see how stratification is used in multi-level marketing, and specifically how there is symbolic stratification because there's all these symbols of wealth and knowledge that you think people have just because they have a particular rank, just because you hear a particular word, you think they know something more than you. But the truth is they don't. They've probably been at it a little bit longer, possibly, but the biggest thing is that they have people that they can bring into their network. And if they've run out of people that they know or they have influence with, now they're creating ads going out into the world trying to just, get into people's DMs so they can offer them, hey, wouldn't you love to do this thing that I do? Just work from your phone a few hours a week and life is going to be grand. Now, you and I both know that's not the case, but that's what they want you to believe. And I will tell you, those who are at the bottom full on believe that people at the top are living some luxurious life, but they are chasing the dream. Everybody is chasing the dream, and everybody is working really hard just to maintain. And it is exhausting no matter which way you slice that banana. It is exhausting. And you can actually do so much more if you just get a regular job. I know, horror of horrors, because all the Huns are going to say, oh my gosh, this 9 to 5 thing that you have, who wants that? Well, let me ask you this. Who wants something where you have to keep paying into it over and over and over again, and you're getting very little in return? But the thing is that you're indoctrinated to believe that you have been given so much, and that goes back to that whole extended reciprocity, and you keep on giving more of yourself, giving more time, giving more money into something that doesn't exist. If you enjoyed this type of content, please go ahead and give a thumbs up. And if you have something to say about it, leave a comment below. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know each time that I upload a video. And remember, it is up to us. If we want there to be change out there in the world, if we want people to know how MLM is destructive, it is up to us to share our stories and to use our voices. And remember, change starts now.